Yo, this is Tone Capone, and you're getting lifted to the sounds of my DJ, DJ Spaceship. Go ahead and beam him up, boy. Let's get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Greetings and salutations from us to all the nations. We're about to get loose, strictly for entertainment. We're reppin' Tampa Bay, 10 toes down. It's waves of the bay. No, we ain't playing round. Saturdays from 10 to 12. Make sure you ride the wave. It's Tone Capone and DJ Spaceship on your airwaves. We're mixing interviews, R&B and hip hop. We're blasting off, and the top is just a pit stop.
Waves of the Bay live in effect. This is WMNF 88.5. And man, we've been doing the thing, man. It's episode 21 of the FM radio. We did 35 episodes of the podcast. We've been trying to stay busy, trying to represent for Tampa Bay. Tone Capone, DJ Spaceship, man. WMNF, man. WMNF shares your concern about the current outbreak. We're collecting all the latest information from local government and health agencies about the COVID-19 situation in Florida, and we're posting it on our webpage, WMNF.org. There you can find up-to-date information about where the outbreak is the worst and how to protect yourself. So thanks to the listeners whose donations make everything we do at WMNF possible. We want to say thank you to all our listeners at the same time for keeping us afloat, and shout out to the whole community for following the directions of the Safer at Home order and trying to stay safe, man. It's crazy out here right now, but we still putting on and we still doing our thing, but we being safe about it, you know. That's how we do. I'm 6 feet away from Spaceship.
I don't want to be no closer to you.
I'm good with this.
You stay away from me. Hey, you.
We're a little bit too close.
Stay right there.
For real. But, yo, episode 21, this all started just over a year ago. So, like I said, we did 21 shows on the FM, WMNF as of right now. Well, we did 35 podcast episodes on Flowhio Radio. So it's only fitting that we, a year almost to the date,
bring it back.
Follow right back up, man. Bring it full circle. We're going to be interviewing the homie Surgeon General. What's up, Serge?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm maintaining. I miss being around people. I ain't going to lie to you.
Really. I know what that's about.
I'm getting tired of being around people sometimes.
See.
Are you really?
Yeah, man. People doing stupid stuff still. Ain't nothing changed.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to change.
Yeah, stupid stuff. Put your gloves on.
You can't change stupid, though, man.
You can't change stupid, but I can change my atmosphere. And I'm going home.
What they say, you can't change the people around you, but you can't change the people around you.
That is right. That is right. It is my business and my duty to change this. How about that?
Man.
What's going on, sirs, man?
Feels good to be here, man. Thank you for having us for one.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I feel like it's like, and you know what? It's like we didn't miss a step.
Nah.
It's like
riding
a bike.
The same. We just got to be clean with it. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
But besides that, and we got to be 2 hours with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
We can't be 2:05.
Ain't no 3 hour shows here.
Nah, no 3 hours.
Nah, but
say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Chemistry.
Absolutely.
It is what it is, man. Plus, you got professionalism at the same time, man. This cat right here, anybody who does not know who he is, man, he's definitely somebody you need to pay attention to in Tampa Bay. Beyond just what you see up front, man. Like, this dude got some mad stuff going on, and he's always working on new stuff at the same time. So let's talk about Flowhio Radio, sirs. Let's talk about how it came to be and where we're at right now in 2020.
Well, let's see. It started off, a lot of people that know Flowhio know us for Blunt Sessions. Mm-hmm. And that's the show with me and Gino Lexus and K Swift started.
Shout out to Gino.
Yes, sir.
And we kind of just, essentially how we got to where we are. We kicked off Blunt Sessions about 2015-ish, somewhere around there. And right around 2018, right at the end of 2018, the job that I was working at for 10 years, not going to say where, it's just a hospital in the Tampa Bay area, they decided my 10 years of service was no longer needed. And I kind of was trying to figure out what was I going to do. And I said, well, I already got a studio. I already, do the radio show, so let me just open it up to people who want to get involved in the podcast/radio game. So I started doing that. Shizzle Show was the first one to join. Y'all were the second.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Like, because Blunt Sessions was pretty much holding the.
It was the only show I had.
The Book of Earl, man.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Book of Earl.
Ooh.
So we came along at a good time. In the past year, all of this has happened.
Yeah, we went from one show, Blunt Sessions, to currently 13 shows, and I'm supposed to be adding another 2 possibly to the network. one of which is going to be the first show that involves the rap battle scene. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's been crazy, bro. It's been crazy. So we built up a lot of partnerships. Shout out to Gasparilla Music Festival. Shout out to Tangra. Shout out to Coyote Ugly. We do a lot of shows there at those locations. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. Every once in a while, you kind of just got to take your own destiny into your hands. A lot of people get comfortable with the 9-to-5s, and if somebody that you've put 10 years into is willing to let you go without,
You're expendable.
yeah, you're very expendable.
Just
So I
a
said
number.
I would rather put myself in charge of my own destiny, and I did that, and everything's going pretty good. I can't complain. Like even now, even though we have the whole coronavirus thing going on, I'm still active. I have
Right.
all my hosts are still coming through. So
Right.
yeah, because when it first hit and they said, "Oh, we're gonna take a month off," I was like, "What am I gonna do?"
What are you not gonna do?
But they're still riding with me. We adapt. Now we could use the Zoom app, which is basically people can stay at their home and we can still do their show live. Just so it'll be there at their location, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like we were talking off air, man. Sometimes you got to bet on yourself, man. And I'm currently in the process of doing that myself.
Yeah, it's hard,
It really is,
especially if you got family and kids. It's kind of hard to
Uncertainty
take
and
that
risk
step.
is just the whole thing about it, man. So, but yeah, man, we already touched on it a little bit. How else has this COVID-19 whole situation like changed up your moves?
I can't go anywhere. Like literally, I pretty much stay in the studio, do the shows all day. Normally on Saturdays we take off and we go hit the scene, and Saturday nights I kind of call it a night at about 11 o'clock.
Right.
So it's something that it's a little bit to get used to, but I also look at it like God makes no mistakes. The universe has a reason for everything, and this was probably my sign to, hey, slow down, switch up what you're doing, because you're used to doing physical on location stuff. Now you don't need to. Now you found a way around it to where if they can't come in, you can do something, even though you can still be in the station and they can be at their homes, you can still make it happen. So
Now, how have you leveraged that opportunity to reach out to people that you have right now? Because even though you're stuck here,
yeah.
Like how have you made that important to reach out to folks?
Well, because for one, I want to make sure everybody's good, because I know a lot of people are going through it mentally. This is more of a mental battle than it is a physical, because in a way you're kind of in prison. You're not really, I don't want to even equate it to prison, because prison is a whole different level, but
to a certain extent.
You're stuck in one spot the whole day. You can't go nowhere.
I can only imagine y'all single cats, man.
Oh, it's the worst.
I got a wife and a kid at home. Like
I've been on that bro. I've been out.
No comment.
I've been on there shooting them shots though.
Listen, but this
now's
the
a
thing.
good time.
Listen, I've been approached by now I think six people to be quarantine boo.
The Rona buddy.
The Rona buddy, and I'm like, it's been the thing about it. I don't kiss and tell. It's been some pretty pretty interesting people approach me on that. As a matter of fact, I've had one since we've been sitting here tonight.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you gotta pick and choose your spots wisely. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You might go over there and have a couple hours of fun and come back.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I kind of started at the top of the list.
Yeah.
I said, let me shoot the shot at the ones that I know I probably have no business shooting the shot at.
Well, everybody is home.
Yeah,
yourself
everybody's
down.
home.
Yeah.
And you work your way down. And after about 7 shots, I said, I'm not feeling this.
You better save those bullets.
Yeah, I said, let me just focus on me, focus on what I can do to make myself better, and I'm gonna be straight. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna go back to normal eventually.
Right.
So right now, what you can do is just do what you got to do to better yourself, and just try to keep it moving. Because it's hard out here right now.
What would you say that Flow Ohio Radio brings to the game over any other podcast, internet radio platform? Period.
I feel like we're more of a family,
Okay.
a team. I got shows that broadcast on Mondays that are supporting the people on Fridays and Saturdays, and it's just it's hard to, well, it's easy to do something on your own, but it's a lot easier to do when you have
Strength
a
in numbers.
bunch of people behind you that are all understand what you're trying to
That
do.
are all about
Right.
it.
Yeah, so it's cool. We're eventually going to be doing a barbecue soon. The thing is, and this is the thing that kind of sucks about this coronavirus, is I had so many different things lined up, and we were making moves, and we were actually moving as a unit, and it just hit the pause button on everything.
I feel the same way about it, man. Because I'm just thinking, like, I'm so glad we had the last Ignite tonight.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't have, we would have just been all the way on pause
Yeah.
until
Listen,
whenever, man.
That last Ignite tonight was Stir crazy.
It was people that wanted to be out coming out.
Right. We had
Like,
people. We had people come, and we just had people come that we didn't expect to come, because when you promote, you put it out there. Your usual crowd.
Yeah.
But you always can spot the one off, so the flower on the wall that who are you? How did you hear about it? And that's something that we do from time to time. Me and Tone Capone. If we see somebody out at an event, and we don't, you look different or look new to us, we'll go and ask you, hey, who do you here for? That's Tone.
Fan of somebody.
Yeah, who you here for? Who you a fan of somebody? And how did you hear about us? So we know which way to promote ourselves. But I see with you, and the benefit of you having so many different shows, it give you access to so many different, fan bases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So somebody might be a fan of one show, and then they tune in and like that one, and then they catch another show, and it's like, okay, this is where it's at. This is lit.
Yeah, it's a good time. I can't complain. I get a lot of calls from people. I'm like, who is this? I don't know who this is. And they're like, oh, yeah, we heard you're the radio guy. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing a show. I'm like, oh, okay, who'd you hear from? And then they tell me, I'm like, awesome.
So now it's time to separate the oil from the water. What criteria do you use to decide who you're going to bring on board for a show, as opposed to looking at it just $1?
You gotta have something that I already don't have.
Okay.
So as far as if you're in a genre, as far as, let's say, for poets, I don't have a lane for poets yet. Mm-hmm. So if y'all out there watching, if you're a poet, come on, holla at me. Let's do our
bunch
show.
Of poets, man.
Yeah, and that's the best part about what I love about having y'all on, is because of y'all, I met a lot of these people that normally I wouldn't have met.
Shout out Ryder Reyes, because she had a lot behind that, man. She introduced us to a lot of people.
So, if it's a lane that's unfilled, I'm all for, bringing you on and seeing what you want to do and how you want to approach the situation. If it's a lane that's filled, you're going to have to provide more than the standard, because if I got Waves of the Bay and another show that's like Waves of the Bay wants to be on, but what are y'all doing that's different than what they're doing?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, one thing that, and I say this a lot, I use the comparison of Birdman and Slim. You got Alfie, the real Alfie. Shout out to the real Alfie.
My man's in there.
Your brother, it's a lot of times you see people start, business endeavors and stuff like that, and everybody wants to be a chief and nobody wants to be an Indian. I'm older than you. I've been doing this longer than you. You lost your membership. We'll talk about that later.
We still there.
What is it like going into business successfully going into business with your brother? Like, I know you have your spats and stuff like that.
Oh, no, we have them all the time.
But what is it like going into business successfully with a sibling?
It's cool, but it takes you a lot longer than it would take. Like, say, for instance, if I approached y'all with the situation, I said I would love y'all to help me out, you guys would be more apt to do it than these guys would. Mm-hmm. Because they're looking at me like the brother. That's the brother. I don't want to hear that. So it took me a solid 3 years of convincing Alfie to come out and start doing the radio thing. Same thing with Bodaful, capital L. I was doing the radio thing. He was a frequent guest on Blunt Sessions. Well, he was one of the hosts of Blunt Sessions. But it took a lot longer for me to get him to do your own show. And his show now is one of the most popular shows on the network.
Is it?
So, yeah. But The Fool and Friends is one of the most popular shows on the network. So, but it's like you got more to prove because they know you more than anybody else. So that's the cool part about it. Alfie is falling off a little bit. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real.
I think it's because he's up late watching the sun come up in Japan. So
it is.
I'm going to try to help him out with that one.
But it's also, I think he gets comfortable. So I don't know. I got to work on Alfie. It's like I want 2009 Alfie back. 2009 Alfie was the guy that was first man out the door.
Bro, it's 2020 right now.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I gotta shake him up.
I'm just saying, man.
We need 2009 Alfie back. He was first man everywhere. Like, he's first man indoor, last man out. Like, that's the guy you need on your team. And right now he's kind of low comfortable, so we got to shake it up a little bit.
DJ Space.
So hopefully when he hears this,
last one out, man.
Listen,
when he hears this, he's gonna know, because I'm not the only person saying this. You know how many people have said, "Yo, where's Alfie? Alfie." I'm like, he's more of the face for Flow Ohio than I am. Because I'm more of the behind the scenes guy.
No, I say that's all you.
I can agree with it. I can agree with that statement.
I said that's all you.
Recently, it's been more me trying to be like, I gotta have a face.
You've been more visual lately than he has lately.
But he was always the face. They always thought he was the guy.
It's Waves of the Bay, episode 21. We're talking with Surgeon General of Flow Ohio Radio, the Mr. Everett, the brainchild behind Flow Ohio,
the biggest independent radio network in the Tampa Bay area, which is what, the 6th largest network in the city.
Oh, people ain't knowing right now.
Yeah,
man.
no, they don't know.
This is Waves of the Bay. Follow us all social media at Waves of the Bay. DJ Spaceship, Tone Capone, Surgeon General. Man, we had to bring it full circle and interview the homie, man. This dude gave us an opportunity to get on the radio a year ago, starting March 19th.
Yeah.
And here we are, April 4th. We're still in it. So that's what it is, man. But I want to know about, as far as Flowhio, man, like, we actually, and I'm going to take part of this one too, like, we actually had the distinction of being the non-FM radio station that was nominated for Best Station of the Year. So talk about that, man. How that
was the coolest thing ever. Somebody hit me up on Facebook and said, yo, you have to check this out. And they sent me the link of all the nominees for Best of the Bay. And I think we had 16 total between every host on the station.
We had a few up there.
We were the only online radio network that was nominated against all the FM and AM stations. So that was cool. I knew we weren't going to win because you can get one FM host to go on there and say, hey, vote for me. And now you got 10, 30,000 votes. So I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at it more like, yo, they really are looking at us like we are on par with the rest of these people in the city that have big corporate dollars behind them.
So what do you think separates y'all from them? Like, besides just being like the family, like what are y'all able to do? Like the lineup and everything. Like, what's the separator right here?
There's nothing really a separator other than we can drop the F-bomb whenever we want.
I miss that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We can cuss when we want.
Especially Saturday night.
We can do what we want.
I miss that there.
But also, we have everything that they have. If they can go set up a tent, drop some stickers off, and broadcast live from whatever area, we could do the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing that's different between them and us other than the FM tag. So I look at it like, you know, I actually feel like we're a little bit better than them because we have more freedom and we can do what we want. We don't have to be on at a certain time. We don't have to be off. I love it. So, and I feel like, honestly, what I'm doing is that's where we're headed as far as the future of media and broadcasting, because I look at FM as more of they're becoming more, let's just say, corporations are throwing money at iHeart and just playing playlists. Mm-hmm. They're becoming playlists now. For those who don't know, iHeartRadio let go 1,200 of their employees this past few months ago. And most of them were on-air personality. Those are the people that you want to keep around, because those are the people that when the big name artists come to the city, who's the first person they hit up?
Right.
DJ such and such. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, all right, you want to let them go? I'm bringing them on. Let's work. Because, like I said, I would rather have DJ Sandman in the building or Jimmy O, because
shout out to Sandman.
They not only have the access to these artists that are out of town that are coming into the city, but they also have stories, man. These guys got history.
Man, you ain't lying.
They can tell you stories about when Nas first came to Tampa Bay. Like, you can't get that off of a playlist.
Nah.
So,
and that's the whole reason why we're in here right now, man. Once again, thank you for having us. But that's also a good example of there's nothing different between. I mean, there's a little bit of difference, but when it gets down to the nitty gritty, you know, we're broadcasting live from Flowhio Radio on behalf of WMNF 88.5 right now. You're not going to notice a misstep at all. Like, we still getting it in, man. And then having the freedom to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Especially after the whole iHeartRadio situation happened.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was
to get on that level. So when you're up here working to get there, and you see the people up there getting let go, it's just like, what's going on here?
Yeah, because that's how it was. Matter of fact, 2 weeks before that whole situation happened, I met with Sandman up at the station. And I said, "Ooh, can I get a tour?" Well, actually, no, he asked me if I wanted a tour. And I was like, "Oh, I can come inside?" So we went through the whole building. I was like, "Yo, this is official." And then, like, literally 2-3 weeks later, he's gone. I'm like,
crazy.
Yeah, he put in how many years, and y'all just gonna let him go like he's just some regular?
What, 15 years or something? Like that?
Well, we ain't doing that. That's what I said. I'm like, that's why I love what I do, because can't nobody let you go but you. That's it. I'm never gonna tell anybody no. I don't want y'all on the station no more, unless you do some crazy child sacrificing in the green room joint. But other than that, nah, man. It's about freedom and having fun and expressing yourself.
Right.
Well, the thing about it with Sandman, you know, to touch up on that, we had him on Waves of the Bay when we were here.
Yeah, I remember y'all stole that. Y'all stole that. Continue.
Yeah, we got that. We jumped in front of that. But the one thing about that Sandman, one of the many lessons and teachings that he put out was the power of the hustle. So before he was doing radio, you know, he said he wanted to do 88.5, and he was already doing his thing, doing concerts, you know, relationships with artists that's in the industry and that was on their way to making it big in the industry. And then he landed at 95.7. And for the city, you know, Sandman is one of the few DJs that's a connection to bigger platforms to get your music heard and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So my question that I present to you is, if and when your show is picked up or approached by a bigger platform such as a 95.7 or a 94.1 or 88.5, where do you see that going? Like, is that something that you'd be interested in taking?
Depends. I have to talk to whoever I got to talk to, find out the details. I don't think I would do it. I like what I do here, so why would I go somewhere where they can just be like, nah, we don't want you? I mean, they're only broadcasting in Tampa Bay. You got to go to the website to find them. What we do, we can broadcast anywhere worldwide, so why am I taking a step back? But I also look at it like it'll be good as far as for the name and to have that FM tag, and it'll open up more for the local artists, because now I can say music I play now is going to be played on FM radio. But I feel like we're still stuck in that 90s mindset of where FM radio is the deal. Nah, man. Chance the Rapper proved you don't need radio.
I feel that.
A lot of artists prove that you didn't need radio as well as a label deal. But I think where it comes down to is a lot of artists don't have the hustle that those people you just mentioned to, say, I'm going to put it on my back. I'm going to bet on myself instead of just being a $15 an hour employee. So
that's facts. It was terrifying when I did it. I was like, I don't know how. And for the first few months, I was living off of unemployment and ramen noodles and sleeping on couches. But you got to do what you got to do when you feel like what you want to do is where your future is headed. So, but it's just been, like I said, I had before Rona hit, man, I was actually getting to the point where I was like, okay, now this is where it's going.
Just finding your groove.
Yeah, and all of a sudden that pause button came, and I said, but I didn't get upset. I looked at it. There's a reason for it. So I said, what am I doing that I can fix in this moment of time to when everything gets back to normal?
Right.
I'll be good to go, and as soon as I hit the ground running, we're good to go. So
what are some things you're doing to keep yourself busy in this time with Rona, giving everybody this secondary pause? What are some things you're doing to keep yourself, busy and prepared for your next big move?
A lot of YouTube videos.
Okay.
I do a lot of. I started with the photography for a while ago, but I never really focused on it.
Right.
So now that I had some downtime, I said, let me watch some YouTube tutorials about this camera and what I could do with this camera in order to be able to make more of what I've been doing with it. So I've been doing that. Of course, you got the Amazon and the Netflix and all that, but I'm trying to use this time that I got to better myself as opposed to just kind of sitting around watching stuff that ain't really going to do nothing for me. Of course, I'm still going to do that.
Right.
But I look at it like I got my 12-hour shift of daytime. I'll break that down into let me do stuff for the work, but also let me learn some things that's going to help me with other aspects, because I want to do photography, but I also want to do video, and eventually I want to get into movies.
Right.
So let me just learn this stuff as I go, and that's where we at right now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's been crazy, man. Rona messed me up. We had Beats and Eats. It was supposed to pop off this past Saturday. It's the first time I had the tickets 2 months in advance. First time I had the flyers made, the event page all lined up, and nothing.
And boom, it's everything down.
I feel like that, man. Like in everything, we've had a lot of stuff just get postponed, put off, things like that. So we're gonna have to talk about that more in just a few moments, man. This is Waves of the Bay, episode 21. We're talking with SERGIO General and Flow Ohio Radio, and we're just talking about a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like we're talking about how he gave us the opportunity and the difference how a year makes, man, and even the difference a month makes when it comes to this.
What I loved about the whole thing is y'all was really in with what was it, 9 episodes before 88.5 reached out?
It was something like that.
And it was like the week after.
And we started working with Saturday Night Shutdown. Yeah, it was like the week after all the drama popped off. Lame. Lame ass. Hold up, I can say. But yeah, man. But since that time, I mean, even before.
Can I
that
say
time,
before we even continue? I went to ODS. I want to say 2 weeks before everything shut down, and I see my man in the back because you can't miss him.
I'm mad, dog. I still haven't.
But it was funny because he hasn't seen me. He didn't see me, so I'm walking up, and I believe he was talking. I want to say to see Renee, somebody that we're close, we're cool with. So she, big smiling face. As soon as she saw me, he's smiling. He looks over and just.
You gotta love that.
I was dying.
I missed them days.
But you know what I did, though? I went up to him and said, "What's up, bro?" Gave him the handshake and all that. Even though you had that sour face, bro.
You better.
It's
than
cool.
Me,
I'm cool with that.
But that's a different
sour.
situation. He ain't come for you. He came for
you.
He
did. But I was like, nah.
It is what it is, man. Really dope.
Hard body.
I don't understand it, but it is what it is, man. Waves of the Bay, episode 21, right here. This is WMNF 88.5 Tampa. We're talking to Flow Ohio King, SERGIO General, and we just up here, man. In the first hour, we're gonna continue this interview. We got to talk a little bit more with SERGIO in just a few moments, man. We got the Tampa Bay Watch coming up. I'm gonna have DJ Spaceship do a little bit of spinning at the same time. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. So WMNF is committed to you in good times and bad. Rob LeRae and Sean Kinane are working around the clock, and we'll keep playing music to comfort you. We are here for you. Thank you for standing by your local community radio, and I really do mean that, man. I have to read that off the paper, but I really do mean that, because we're out here for a reason, and if nobody's listening, then why are we even going to risk it? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're out here to provide some type of entertainment, some type of release for y'all, and that's what we're about to do. So we're going to be back on the flip side. Follow up with this interview on Surgeon General, Tampa Bay Watch, more DJ Spaceship, right here, Waves of the Bay. This is Tone Capone
and DJ Spaceship.
And Saturday nights from 10 to midnight, we bring you Waves of the Bay, right here on WMNF 88.5 Tampa.
With the hottest interviews, the hottest music.
You can submit your music for the Tampa Bay Watch segment at wavesofthebay@gmail.com or follow us on all social media at Waves of the Bay.
Every Saturday, 10 to 12. Make sure you come and ride the wave.
Yes, sir. Yes. This is WMNF 88.5 Tampa, and this is Waves of the Bay. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, listening to us. Make sure you let people know who you're listening to. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Waves of the Bay. And during the Safer at Home order covering most of our listening area, WMNF will maintain our quality music and information, and will give companionship to listeners hunkering down at home. Our volunteer programmers will also be at home during these days of seclusion, but they are participating by sending in playlists to make sure the shows are in good hands. WMNF is your connection to keep you entertained and informed. And with that in mind, we're actually here in Flowhio Radio, the old studio, the old platform we used to rock with, still family, but we're broadcasting live for WMNF 88.5 in this time of the Safer at Home, and we're talking with Surgeon General. So we've been talking about Flowhio Radio, how it's starting to get recognized and things of that nature. So I want to know, like, when it comes to the shows and stuff like that, like, don't you have every day filled up now?
Yeah. Actually, Tuesdays fell off a little bit because
hard shoes to fill, man. Who did that? Who were those guys?
We replaced with Rio Paris. He had the first comedy show. It was more of an improv, hilarious show, but he had some things going on in the personal life, so he had to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that's probably where we're going to put in the one of the battle shows. So stay tuned. Maybe next week we'll see how it goes.
Tuesday is a hard spot to fill, and shout out to Rio. Hopefully everything turns around for that brother.
Crazy, man.
Real fast. Dude, I seen him do some stand up before. He's a pretty hilarious cat, but you got to keep in mind, stay focused, keep your head down, keep swinging, keep your eye on the prize, and you'll come out on the other side bigger, faster, and stronger. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Rio on that one, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
So are there any shows that you don't have, like, ideas for, like, you're looking towards to, like, you're trying to bring something else to the station that you don't have right now?
Aside from the poetry show, aside from the poetry show, we got a metal show, we got an EDM show.
What about a Latin show?
You know what? I don't have a Latin show.
I want my $5 for that too. I just gave you an idea.
I'm thinking about reaching out to a couple of people.
Get you a Latin show, man. Maybe some salsa, reggaeton.
Yeah, because I know they got one over at 88.5.
They got one over there. They got a couple of them.
Shout out Latinx.
Yeah, that matter of fact, my homie runs that show.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So shout out
Good
to
people,
her.
Yo.
Shout out to Isha.
That's how. And I say Aisha. See, I'd have messed her name up.
Yeah, that's Isha.
Me in Kansas
is
Aisha.
I'll give you another one that you can use too. You need a Caribbean show, man.
Actually, you know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I actually got approached
now
by somebody.
Now you owe me $10. And a pack of smokes.
Off airship.
A pack of smokes.
I'm with it.
Giving away the game.
Yeah, no, I had a couple of, matter of fact, I had somebody approach me from the Indian people from India. They actually wanted to do something revolving around what they do. So
Bollywood type?
Yeah.
Punjabi?
So I'm with, especially in Tampa, we got a really big
It's a big Indian population.
Bruh.
East Indian. You got to make sure you specify that.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the Jay-Z way
The
of
West
doing
Side
it.
ain't.
Yeah. Well, no, because when they say, when they say Indian, Caribbean, they think West Indians.
Got you.
But when they say East Indian, they thinking India, the Bollywood. And that's a big deal. They had a couple of years back. I think it was like the Oscars for Bollywood.
Yeah,
right at
no, they had
Raymond
that
J.
out here.
Yeah, Raymond J. And it's like some of the actors and actresses I've seen in some movies, like one of my favorite movies is Kama Sutra, a love story. And it came out in 1996. And they have a big scene. You see what I'm saying? And it's the power of sticking together with your people and support one another.
Exactly.
So they have their own, like, Grammys, Oscars, and it's pretty big.
And they take it on tour. Like, it's not like how we do the Oscars out here. Everything is in California every year.
Yeah.
Nah, They do the Bollywood joint. They had it in Tampa, and then the next year they had it some other country.
The NFL draft.
Yeah. Well, finally the draft is starting to move, and the Pro Bowl.
True.
They started to move the Pro Bowl around, so now you'll probably see John Madden out there as long as it's in the 48 Continental. He'll be there.
Yeah,
but you know,
it's crazy. So yeah, those are probably the 3 pockets I want to hit. But I already got people coming in that are going to fill those pockets. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get back to work.
But when you do those type of things, you know, that's like being a DJ, but only with shows and crowds. You blending in so many different genres and lifestyles and, you know, walks of life with people. And now, like I said, they might been, let's say I tuned in just for your Caribbean show. Okay, now he has a comedy show. Okay, I'm interested in, you know,
battle rap,
and then so on and so forth. And before you know it, it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, one person tells 2 and 2 tells 10 and 10 keeps splitting, and you know, it magnifies, it multiplies.
Yeah, it's definitely it's pretty awesome to watch, because I'm the type of guy I like to watch from behind the scenes, and every time I add a show, everybody else's views go up. So I know it's got to be a good thing.
Means you're doing work, bro.
Has there ever been a time you've approached somebody about doing a show and they turned you down?
I got a lot of maybes. I'll get back to you, but I haven't had a I can't do that. So yeah, a lot of maybes. Shout out to DJ Sandman. Nah, he's working. He's working. I already said I'm gonna get DJ Sandman in here eventually. So
I mean, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
You told us you're playing. I'm gonna put it all out on air.
Yeah.
Somebody take it and pull a Samsung, Apple, iPhone on you type deal. But I mean, we talked about that.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna have a bunch of legendary people in the whole system. So I'm not worried about it.
Now, one thing that I seen you talk about not long ago, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I'm a watcher. I like to watch social media and stuff like that too. You talked about taking the show on the road back home to Ohio. So tell us a little bit about that and what inspired you to do that.
Yeah, I want to go up north because I haven't seen my grandma in 10 years. So I want to go see her. But I also know a lot of people that are already up there that are established as far as in the music game. So I wanted to put a little something together. Maybe I can bring a couple of Tampa artists up there with me, and then vice versa. So right now we like I said, that Rona hit right before we was about to do all of this.
Yeah, it was,
so.
man. It seems like so long ago. So I remember all this now.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was like forever ago.
Yeah, and it was really just 3 weeks ago when I was discussing it, and I had people lined up ready to make it happen, but now we got to kind of put it on hold until further notice. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good deal. I would love to bring some of the people up in Cleveland down here for shows, because you don't normally get that exposure, and then on top of also being affiliated with a lot of the people that I am in the city, I can bring people to artists that I know they'll mesh well with, or producers that I know your music will sound good with this guy's beats. So let's all work. So that's the cool part about what I do, is like I'm ingrained in every aspect of music, whether it be rock, whether it be hip hop, EDM, metal. Like I know artists in each genre, so it's cool. Like
who's some of the OGs that you seek knowledge from, and how do you keep yourself grounded?
Sandman's a guy I reach out to a lot. I kind of just learn as I go, you know. Oh, also, who else do I reach out to? I'm forgetting names right now because you know we had a little.
He got you on the spot right now.
Is that one? Did I stump him?
Concept is another one.
Shout out to Concept.
Shout out to Concept 88.5. Buckwheat, that's another one.
Okay.
And a lot of the other
Shout
DJs.
out to Buckwheat.
Yeah, I kind of chill with a lot of the DJs.
Man.
So that's another show. We got a DJ show coming too. I can't say who's going to be the host.
Hey, well, that's going to be amazing.
But just know it's your DJ's favorite. It's your favorite DJ's favorite DJ is going to be the one that's hosting that show.
Oh, and I already know who that is. I already know who that is.
Yep.
If it's not Jazzy Jeff, then I know who it is. And shout out Jazzy Jeff, man. We hope you're doing good out there.
Yeah, man. Press for Jazzy Jeff. Mel Star. Mel Star was another one. You know, this Rona, man. It's
real, man.
Making its rounds, man. Yeah, make sure y'all stay clean, happy clean. You happy.
Wash
stay
your
clean.
hands.
Yeah, wash your hands. Wash your body.
Yeah, your whole entire.
I'm gonna say that part. Wash your body, shouting.
And take your gloves off before you start driving your car. If you was in the store and you touching everything with your gloves on, you got your mask on, you go to your car. Don't take your gloves off before you get in the car.
And if you don't take your gloves off, just throw the whole car away. But if it's a Benz, let me send you my location to drop that off, and we can sign the titles over next month. So for tax purposes, you know,
exactly,
starting the next tax year. new tax bracket and everything.
This fool said throw the whole car away.
The whole car away, man.
Yo, this is Waves of the Bay, episode 21. We're chopping up with Surgeon General, the king of Flowhio Radio. This is Waves of the Bay, man. Like, and honestly, like I said, like to begin the interview, March 19th of last year was our first show, and that was 35 plus 20. Was 56 shows ago, bruh. And we've been consistent, man. And that's one thing that, you know, we appreciate out of you, because we tried to do this before, and it wasn't to the same type of level because of that. Like, we tried to get our momentum going, but then something fell off. And all this other stuff happened, and you've been official the entire time. I had no idea that we actually got Flowhio Radio started right then and there, because I knew Blunt Sessions was in existence, you know, and the Shizzle show and all that. Shout out to Shizzle. We'll be talking to you soon too, but that's crazy to see the difference a year makes, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
especially when
nominated
I look back on
for awards.
Yeah, when I
you
look
got
back on
shows
it,
every day of the week.
I'm still blown by it, because I remember just having that one show and then running into Shizzle just off of randomness and said, "Yo, bring the show to the network." So it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's cool. It's cool, and I'm definitely not stopping. I still got that goal of having 20 shows by the end of the year. I thought I was going to have it by July.
You might have,
but
that Rona boy.
Rona came.
Man, I promise you, dog. That took the Biz Markie show out of existence for us.
Because we really live in, like...
I was looking forward to that show.
Oh, man, the Hot Times.
I was doing stretches. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, Hot Times 4. Yeah. Right after the Clearwater Threshers game, May 1st,
oh,
man.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all was going to do that.
Yeah, we had the play event by Hot Times 4. We was going to get the debut.
Presidente,
the Gasparilla Children's Museum, or the Glazers Children's Museum.
That's another one that put it on
That's
pause.
what I'm saying, man. Like,
it's but thank God that, you know, we built those relationships with those people, and that's the power of, you know, relationships, that when this is all over, we'll go right back to it. You know, like we never left, baby. You know, so it's just crazy, man. That Rona.
It is what it is, man. But we definitely appreciate you having us come through here. We appreciate the service you offer to the people. Give the people your social media information, how to listen to you, and all that jazz.
If you want to listen to us, just Google Flowhio Radio. F like Frank, LOHIO. That's Florida and Ohio mashed together. Radio. Same thing as the email, flowhioradio@yahoo. Y'all can find me on the social medias, Sergio Santana. If you're serious about this game and you want to get involved in it and you feel like you can bring something that nobody else has, by all means, hit me up, man. I'm always down to top it up and find out what your goals and what your vision is. Because I'm doing the same thing. I'm still looking for a chef, because I got a new show that I want to start called Two Hots in a Crock. And we'll just have a chef come in, start something on the crock pot before the show, and then while the show is broadcasting, we got 2 hot plates for you to make something to go along with whatever you got going on in that crock pot.
Right.
That might be interesting, being an audience member for that show.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's going to be fun. Matter of fact, I got a guy, I can't say his name.
I understand.
But he was on the Iron Chef.
That'll work.
And it turns out I ran into him on some randomness. He asked what I do. I told him. He's like, oh, I wanted to get into that. And I said, oh, yeah, I just randomly started talking about the cooking show.
That.
And he's like,
just
I'm
tell
a
him
chef.
Make sure you wash his hands, goddamn.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
I Googled him and I was like, whoa, this guy? Yeah. So, and what I like is he's made mistakes and he's starting to overcome the mistakes that he made. So I feel like him doing the show here would be perfect for him, especially because he's already got the name. So
dope, man. I want to take it one more step further right quick since I have you here, man. I started doing music. I moved down here to Tampa 14 years ago, and I started doing music, fell off, ain't really cared for it no more. The second go around, I started doing it. Sergio was one of the first people I met. This is night 1 at the Cypher Hip Hop League, and you was actually the captain. I got drafted to your squad on just some randomness, some coincidental, and since that moment, me and you have been cool. So me and you have been cool for about 8-9 years. Shout out Team Element. But this guy gave me the first chance with that. He gave me the first chance with the radio. I truly respect and appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
And thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, man, this is cool. You know, it's like riding a bike, bro.
Yeah, it's that run back, man. It feels good to be back here.
Yeah, I love it. I was like, I miss you guys. This is cool.
But this is what it is, man. Waves of the Bay, episode 21. Once again, follow us all social media at Waves of the Bay. Send your music over wavesofthebayradio@gmail.com. We just got done talking to Surgeon General of Flowhio Radio. If you guys got music you need to send over, it doesn't need to be edited for Flowhio Radio. Send it over, man. It's all about Tampa Bay. We're trying to put on for everybody out here. And with that in mind, we got a segment we like to call the Tampa Bay Watch. So This is Tone Capone.
And DJ Spaceship.
And Saturday nights from 10 to midnight, we bring you Waves of the Bay. Right here on WMNF 88.5 Tampa.
With the hottest interviews, the hottest music.
You can submit your music for the Tampa Bay Watch segment at wavesofthebay.radio@gmail.com or follow us on all social media at Waves of the Bay.
Every Saturday, 10 to 12. Make sure you come and ride the wave.
Yes, sir.